Hello and welcome back as always. And I'm still Lindiwe. And thanks so much for coming back to the channel. I want to talk about distractions. I've been meaning to record about this for so long now. And distractions, I mean those things that we choose to focus on in order or as a way of avoiding others. You understand what I mean? So you know that there's something that you need to do or there's something that you should be doing, but to avoid it, you pick something else that is going to kind of keep you busy for the time or keep you distracted for the time. That's what I'm talking about. And I know you know what I'm talking about because there are things in our lives that we need to be facing or doing, but we are not. We are choosing something else. For example, if I think about probably marriages or relationships where I know that your marriage or relationship is like on gravel road, as people would say, or things are not going well, but instead of focusing on fixing or getting things right in that perspective, you choose a distraction. Sometimes that distraction is like kids. So you choose to focus on your kids, and really we say that I'm done, stressing. I just want to focus on my children and do whatever. And we pour our lives on our children, on their sports, on their activities, on everything, and we ignore what we are supposed to be facing, which is a conversation with your partner or husband or anything that you need to do to fix that. And you pour your life into it, and you use that as a distraction because you are forever busy on your children's schedule or agenda. Another way is pouring ourselves into church. Remember now, our distractions are not always like destructive behaviors. They're not necessarily always destructive. Or church. Now you are in every service, Monday to Monday, everywhere. Every time your husband says, I have church. Good thing to go to church, but not if you are trying to distract yourself. Yes, you might say you are praying for your relationship or praying for your marriage, but after praying, there is still action that you must do. You must still do something. You must have the conversation. You must go for therapy. You must do whatever you need to do. You can't be forever praying in church, every service, every whatever, and not focusing on what you need to focus on. Another thing is studies. Do you know if you are one of those people that decided to go study that MBA or MPhil or PG dip or whatever because you were trying to avoid or maybe to distract yourself from the other things that are happening in your relationship or in your life that you don't have control over? If you're one of them, please raise your hand in the comments and tell us a little bit about your story in terms of why and how you decided that. I am in an MPhil class and I think understanding and seeing, maybe being exposed to the people who also in that class and understanding where people are also helped me to realize that I may also have decided to take that class because I want to distract myself for something else, not from a marriage or a relationship responsibility per se, but on other things, maybe, So I realized that actually we all do it. So if you were that person that took that MBA class or that MPhil or PG dip, knowing how demanding it is of your time and availability, you make sure you do it because why you want to distract yourself from your reality or from dealing with what you need to deal with. Okay, those are some of the examples I can think about, but you know what you're doing to distract yourself. Some of the distractions are destructive, meaning you embark in alcohol, over drinking, clubbing, different types of friends, multiple relationships, because you just want to get away from what you are seeing. You don't have control of your situation, or you don't have control of what is happening in the other space of your life, and you look for a distraction that will remove your mind off things. And yeah, like I'm saying, some of them are destructive, some are not destructive, but at the end of the day, they are all distractions. So yeah, tell us a bit more about your distractions or where you've had to distract yourself from doing something and why you needed to do that, and did it really work out? Because the problem is what you're distracting yourself with will end, or you will run out of steam when you're there, or you'll run out of interest, and then you're still faced with the same thing. So you might want to go study because you don't want to be dealing with something, or you're studying because your workplace is not so nice, or you're not maybe feeling like you're on top of your game anymore and you want something else to give you that comfort. Okay. Or you're actually supposed to be studying and you're not. You're busy having babies or getting married. I don't know what you're distracting yourself with. But I think it is a thing that we need to look at and be aware of, especially when you make that choice. Be clear that I'm actually choosing this as a distraction, and understanding that if you don't attend to the other thing, it will still come back to bite. That's why sometimes you find people, even during the art distractions, we don't get it right. You see, for example, even if you're studying, trying to distract yourself from a relationship that's not going well, you end up breaking up or a divorce. Your children are not really grateful for the time, and you feel like I'm pouring all my life into you and this is how you thank me, etc., etc. So it can be a difficult thing to do, and it definitely is not a solution to getting yourself out of what you need to be facing. Rather face what you need to face and get it over and done with, or try and then do both, to say, okay, even if I'm going to distract myself by going and studying, going to church or whatever, it will be just minor, but I will still give myself time to do other things. I think I'm speaking because I realized that also probably I took up my studies not because I'm not interested. I'm very much interested, but I realized that they were also a distraction. But I only realized that halfway through. I'm realizing, look, since I started this, it's taking up a lot of my time. Now I'm no longer facing or giving my time enough time to some of the other projects that I had already started. Now those projects are struggling, and if I look at it, I could have been far. But why did I want to go take something else that is mostly so engaging and taking up my time? Not that I regret the studies. I don't at all. But I realized that actually I created a distraction. If I could have maybe proceeded with something until it matured and then study, give each project time to mature. So not start different projects, all of them in their infancy, and try and want to move them along at the same time, because the other one distracts the other. So that's how this whole thing about just being distracted came to my mind, to say, you know what, we do get ourselves distracted and we do distract ourselves, and we cause this chaos in our own lives, and we cause ourselves so much stress because we cannot focus on one thing. So on the comments, please tell me about your distractions, how you are distracting yourself, or how you indulged on some distractions. They work, did they not work? What can we pick up and learn from you?